This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois. We'll have full coverage of the president's visit to Lewiston today, but we begin tonight with a house fire that began with an explosion. That fire displacing a family of 4 and sending all of them to the hospital. According to Orland's Fire Chief Bobby Connery, just after 9 a.m., multiple units were dispatched to an explosion and house fire on Soper Road with people possibly trapped inside. 2 people were taken to the hospital in critical conditions. 1 had to be transported via life flight. The 2 others involved were also taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
It's been very challenging. The propane tank dumped pretty rapidly. Units that first got here, building wasn't really involved yet. There was a little bit of smoke and flame. In the process of their arrival, it went pretty quick.
The house, as you can see, is a total loss. The fire marshal's office says the initial investigation indicates the explosion was caused by a propane leak. A home in Carmel was completely destroyed during a fire this afternoon, and the owner of the home has still not been found. According to the Carmel Fire Department, crews responded to a home on Haskell Road at around 3 p.m. for a reported structure fire. As of 5 p.m., crews were still on scene searching for the homeowner.
The center of the building was fully involved. It was extending into the 2 ends of the building. We're still trying to locate the homeowner. Not sure of his whereabouts yet. We're not sure if he was home or where he was at.
2 people are reportedly displaced following the fire, and the Red Cross has been called in to assist the family. The cause of the fire is being investigated by the State Fire Marshal's office, and we'll bring you any more information as it becomes available. And now we'll send it to Beth Jones, who is on the ground in Lewiston, to take us through our coverage of President Biden's visit. Beth?
Thanks, Pete. We are standing just down the road from Schmenge's Bar and Grill. It's one of the 2 locations involved in last week's horrific mass shootings. 8 people were killed in that restaurant just behind me. And just below that sign, there is a roadside memorial now paying tribute to them and all of the victims of last week's shooting. President Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden came to Maine today to do the same thing, to pay tribute to those victims, to meet with grieving families, and also to acknowledge those who were on the front lines of the response. Now, the day started with President Biden touching down in Brunswick. He touched down around 2:30 this afternoon in Brunswick and immediately met up with members of Maine's congressional delegation, including Senator Susan Collins, Senator Angus King, and Representative Shelley Pingree, before the group boarded Marine One and departed for Lewiston. And now, with more on the President's Day in Lewiston, I will send it over to my colleague Corey Bouchard. Corey.
And good evening, Beth. That's right. The president made his way from Marine One from Brunswick to Lewiston, and from there he went to a wreath-laying ceremony at Schmenge's Bar and Grill before making his way here to Just in Time Recreation, where he gave some remarks in front of first responders and medical personnel. Let's listen to a few of those remarks.
This tragedy opens a painful wounds all across the country. Too many Americans have lost loved ones or survived the trauma of gun violence. I know because Jill and I have met with them in Buffalo and Uvalde and Monterey Park and Sandy Hook and all. I've done, anyway, too many to count. This is about common sense, reasonable, and responsible measures to protect our children, our families, our communities. Because regardless of our politics, this is about protecting our freedom to go to a bowling alley, a restaurant, a school, a church, without being shot and killed. The way this community has come together, the way this state has come together, has been a marvel to the rest of the country. So God bless those we lost, and those who have been wounded. May God bless the first responders.
After his remarks, he made his way, left with his motorcade for a private meeting with the victims and survivors. That is what we know. It was closed to the press. And we're going to have a lot more coverage on this entire Lewiston shooting. We're going to have a lot more tonight at 10. But for right now, I'm going to send it back over to you, Beth.
Thank you, Corey. And so often in the face of tragedy, we then see some of the best in humanity, people stepping up to help their neighbors. In Maine, that is certainly the case. And in this particular case, there is an opportunity for Mainers to help out, and it involves a Maine staple. Of course, we're talking about Dunkin'. Dunkin' Maine business owners are coming together to support the Lewiston community. They will be donating funds to the City of Lewiston Support Fund. And for one of the franchise owners, this kind of charity certainly hits close to home.
It makes me proud, you know what I mean? Like, we're invested. I mean, my kids were born here. We've come through all the programs in Lewiston, and to have the support of, like you said, New England, it makes me proud to be not only part of Dunkin', but again part of the Lewiston community.
And so on November 6th, 7th, and 8th, when you buy a hot or iced coffee from a Maine Dunkin' location, $1 will be donated to the Lewiston Support Fund. Just a great way to help out this community as it grieves and looks for help from its neighbors. That is all from Lewiston for now. Pete, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Beth, thank you. And then just again, another example of Mainers stepping up to help each other in a time of need. You heard the president talk about just that, and we'll have more from Lewiston later on. But in the meantime, let's turn things over to Jeff Weller with the first check of our forecast now.
All right, thank you. Here we go. Your first weather is brought to you by Driveway Maintenance Paving. We offer quality work at affordable prices, and we are talking about the temperatures out there today, courtesy of a gusty south wind. We've had wind gusts near 25 miles per hour. That is giving us temperatures in the 50s across much of the area today, and we'll do it all over again tomorrow and possibly Sunday as well. Okay, so lots of clouds early, followed by some sunshine throughout the afternoon. There are more things to the west of us. Overall, we'll keep things mostly cloudy for a while tomorrow, but this is all kind of going to our north tomorrow. We are in for a dry weekend, Saturday and Sunday, before we get some rain showers in here on Monday. Our forecast tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies, low temperatures down in the 40s. Your full forecast is coming up.
All right, Jeff, thanks so much. And we have more to come after the break, including a full breakdown of referendum question 2. Stay with us.
There's too much uncertainty around Pine Tree Power.
It's a mystery bag that will cost Mainers billions.
It will mean tremendous uncertainty for workers, say Maine's labor leaders.
Business leaders say it will mean higher rates with no guarantee of better service.
And Governor Mills says, let's not gamble with our future. Vote no on question 3.
Please join leading Maine voices and vote no on 3.
It's a bad idea for Maine.
With AAA insurance, by bundling our home and auto policies, we saved over $450.
And we were shocked at the savings.
When we switched to AAA auto insurance and bundled our policies, we were able to save over $400 every year.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
Well, my passion is hang gliding. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's like flying. I mean, it's like everything you always dreamed about. AAA insurance helps us save more.
And do more.
The savings from AAA insurance has allowed me to pursue my passion of making jewelry. It's great to have a little bit of extra cash to do something that you love.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA insurance, call 866-460-1310 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store. With delicious homemade food made fresh daily. We offer hearty meals that don't break the bank. Whether it be our delicious chicken pot pie, one of our many savory soups, or a pizza, you can't go wrong at R&K Variety. Looking for a drink after a long workday? R&K Variety is an agency liquor store with an impressive selection. R&K Variety, more than just a convenience store. We're your neighbor, chef, barista, and friend. Stop by today.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. We are just days away now from Maine's election, which features 4 contentious referendum questions. Our Grace Blanchard gives us a full breakdown of ballot question number 2.
Question 2 asks voters if they want to limit foreign governments or entities that they own from influencing Maine elections. It would ban them from making campaign contributions or financing communications for or against candidates or ballot questions.
A yes vote on question 2 will close the loophole that currently allows foreign governments to spend in Maine elections and return our elections to the Maine voters.
A federal law currently allows foreign governments to be involved in referendum campaigns at state and local levels. Supporters of question 2 say this referendum would close that, quote, loophole.
Government-owned entities have spent over $100 million in just the last 3 years in Maine referendum elections. The stakes are really high.
The question has received large bipartisan support in Maine's legislature. Many in favor of banning foreign spending say this question is critical to protecting Maine elections.
Question 2 will not change any rules for any pending referendum campaigns. It is forward-looking and will protect for generations our democracy from foreign influence.
Those opposed say provisions in the proposed law would restrict political speech, violating First Amendment rights.
Question 2 is approved by voters, that it's not going to survive a court battle because it is a First Amendment issue.
Provisions of question 2 would require news outlets to determine whether an advertising communication on their platform is paid for by a foreign government-owned company or organization, ultimately putting the responsibility on those outlets.
To say that for a buy for a commercial campaign, that entity, that radio television station now has to become a detective agency, essentially.
This legislation was vetoed by Governor Mills in July. The governor said she felt the language was, quote, too broad and would likely result in the unintended consequence of effectively silencing legitimate voices, including Maine-based businesses, in debates that would impact their interests. Supporters say the ultimate objective is to curb spending on elections by corporations with foreign ownership.
Regardless of where you are in the state or what your political affiliation is, most Maine voters understand that we cannot allow foreign governments to participate and to influence our elections.
More information about the referendum question can be found on our website, foxbangor.com. In Bangor, Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And in other news tonight, a man convicted of stabbing another man to death had his sentence partially reduced earlier today. Our David Ledford has the details.
The sentence in this matter will be 30 years.
In 2021, Rayshawn Moore was sentenced to serve 32 years at the Maine State Prison for stabbing and killing Demetrius Snow in the parking lot of the now-closed Half-Acre nightclub in 2020. Friday, Moore's sentence was reduced by 2 years at a resentencing hearing. Maine's Supreme Judicial Court ordered the resentencing earlier this year, ruling that Superior Court Justice William Anderson should not have considered Moore's decision to go to trial as a possible aggravating factor. Moore's defense attorney argued for a 25-year sentence, and Moore himself made an apology to the family.
He's done quite a bit towards rehabilitation over the last 2 years during his time at the prison. He's shown remorse for the event that evening. He took it upon himself to turn himself in initially for this offense.
I would like to apologize to the victim's family. I don't consider myself a bad person. I make mistakes, but I'm always going to learn from them, and I'm always going to try to be a better person.
However, Justice Ann Murray ultimately ruled on a 30-year sentence based on a variety of other factors, including the impact on the victim's family and Snow's pain and suffering. Prosecuting attorney Lisa Bogue says she respects the resentencing decision and hopes that now the victim's family will have closure.
The victim impact is an important part of what the court considers, and Demetrius had a big family and he had a lot of family support, and they're just glad to be able to move on, and I'm glad for that for them too. Hopefully we have sort of settled this and they can move on as a family.
In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A Aroostook Band of Micmacs, Penobscot Nation, and Holton Band of Maliseet celebrated the official launch of online sports betting for all Mainers today. Our Doug Banks has that story.
The time for new opportunities begins today. As Penobscot Nation, Aroostook Band of Micmacs, and Holton Band of Maliseet announced their partnership with Caesar Sportsbook, kicking off the future of online sports betting in Maine.
The tribes have really been trying to regain the ability to gamble. Game is restrictive, but it's a step in the right direction.
Certain revenue percentages will be going back to the state, but more importantly, some of the revenue made will be going back into helping their own community.
With the revenue, we can start working on building more homes for our people, doing things of, helping with our community that, we do struggle with.
The revenue will help us invest in social services and healthcare and education.
As the second hand moves ahead, so do Maine's tribal communities.
This isn't about, piling up cash and counting profits. This is about growing our government operations in an unrestricted way and being able to focus on the real needs of the tribe.
On Indian Island, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Just some big sports news there. And speaking of big sports news, just ahead, our Tyler Cruz brings us an update on UMaine women's sports, as well as an exclusive one-on-one with Maine's own Cooper Flagg. Stay with us for those stories.
To keep the doors open as long as we have, the customers always come first. And that's why we're against Question 3. Question 3 costs $13.5 billion. That's billion with a B, which could mean higher taxes for all Mainers. It turns our power grid over to the politicians, the same politicians that take money from the oil and gas companies. They put themselves first, not us. Question 3 is a risk Mainers cannot afford.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo. Huckleberry's Card and Gift has a wide selection of puzzles for the entire family. Local items, including raised mustard and scone mix from the Scone Goddess, jewelry, town signs, coffee mugs, and much more. Located in front of the Brewer City Hall.
Do you want to improve or upgrade your home? Well, At Home Furniture, Appliance, and Bedding in Lincoln and Dover Foxcroft has got you covered. We pride ourselves in the relationships we build with every customer, from commercial businesses to homeowners. We have some of the best prices on the best brands of appliances, furniture, and mattresses, and we even offer full kitchen and bath remodels with the designer and installers on staff. So stop in today and check us out at one of our locations and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
Bob's Copper Sport mattress is strategically engineered to facilitate an optimal sleep environment. Cooling copper threads regulate temperature, viscoelastic gel memory foam alleviates pressure, and a meticulously designed—
I'm sorry, we don't speak mattress.
Does the transition foam seamlessly distribute weight and minimize motion transfer?
Oh yeah, and it's just $7.99 with an 18-year warranty.
Oh my Bob, you've got a little sleep genius.
When every day is like Black Friday, there's only one thing to say.
Oh my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
When it comes to fixing your car, you should have a choice.
But out-of-state automakers are starting to restrict access to your car's mechanical data.
That means local independent repair shops like mine,
and mine too, will lose their ability to diagnose problems and make repairs,
forcing you to expensive dealerships.
Right to Repair will protect your choice.
Your choice.
It's your car. Get it fixed where you want.
Please vote yes on Question 4. Yes on Right to Repair.
The Maine Black Bears take on the Hampton Pirates this Saturday at 1 on ABC 7.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Happy Friday. It's Friday, but we're going to talk some basketball here. Starting up in Orono with Maine women's basketball, the Black Bears gearing up for their season opener on Monday at Quinnipiac. And as they prepare, they are looking to improve at an already strong part of their game. The Black Bears finishing third in America East last year and leading the conference in made three-pointers. With forces in the paint like Conference Player of the Year Adriana Smith, it left a lot of chances from outside for their shooters. Now the Black Bears are looking to get more consistent from long range and create more and more open looks.
Especially in conference, a lot of people wanted to double, pack up the paint, but a lot of times we made them pay with being able to knock down threes, and if we're able to hit that more consistently, then that opens up so much for everyone.
Sometimes we didn't take shots that were open. We didn't always take advantage of the opportunities we had, so really making the extra pass and taking the shots that are open, and I feel like we're really good shooters that can knock them down.
All right, wishing them luck. Let's stay with you, Maine, and we'll move on to women's soccer. The Black Bears have a chance at their first America East tournament title on Sunday after winning their semifinal game against Vermont last night in dramatic fashion. Tied in the 90th minute, you already saw this, Abby Kramer nailing this free kick to give the Black Bears the 2-1 victory. They now face the 4-seed UMass Lowell at home Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the first time the Black Bears have ever hosted a conference title game. Here's what Kramer and Coach Scott Atherley had to say about the moment and the task ahead of them, a team they lost to in the regular season.
I think everybody dreams of those kinds of moments, and I mean, I don't think I've ever scored a free kick during a game, and I just had a weird feeling, and I knew something special was going to happen.
For last time against Lowell, we didn't have Abby in the lineup. In some respects, I think that's to our advantage because they haven't seen us with her in the lineup, and we're a different team. For us, I think there's added incentive to be able to have another shot at the team that beat us this year.
All right, looking forward to that one. Let's move on. Back to some basketball now. At 10 p.m. tonight on Fox, we'll have our full story on my conversation with Cooper Flagg about his journey from Newport, Maine to Duke University as the top recruit in his class. Here's a little excerpt from that story.
It was always just the goal was just to get to the highest level, like the highest Division I level for me. Goals are set in place to be reached.
This week, Newport's Cooper Flagg officially realizing that long-time goal, announcing his commitment to Duke University for next fall.
Growing up, my mom was a big Duke fan, so like all the games were always on, things like that, just being able to grow up and watch like the players at Duke. So when I'm on a mini hoop, I'm imagining myself being like Duke players.
It's been a long journey from that mini hoop to the top-ranked recruit in his class. One that started with 4-hour round trips up and down I-95 in grade school for AAU practice.
I think it was always really serious for me, and I always just loved competing, and I think basketball just kind of was my niche from the very beginning. And I think since second grade, I was on a fifth grade AAU team, and from there, kind of just, like, I just didn't look back.
From second grade to high school, Cooper and his brother Ace played against older competition, and when they took the court with other sophomores this summer at Peach Jam, that really showed up. We talked to Coop about a lot of stuff about his journey from Newport, Maine, as we said, to Durham, North Carolina as the top-ranked recruit in the class of 2024. You can catch that full feature story tonight on Fox at 10 o'clock. And then on 11, we have a special Sports Blitz for you. But for now, that's all the time we have for sports. Here's Jeff Weller with your full 5-day forecast. Jeff?
All right, thank you very much. Your full weather is brought to you by Varney Ford, the nice car and truck people, and we are talking about the weekend. The headlines are above average temperatures. They're out there today with highs in the 50s. Some sunshine tomorrow, but more clouds across the region, and then some rain is back in the forecast later Monday into Tuesday of next week. But first off, though, of course, is the time change. Saturday night into Sunday morning, our clocks go back, of course, 1 hour as we fall back and gain an hour of sleep. Okay, it got a little windy today, right? Winds out of the south around 10 to 20 miles per hour sustained. We had a few wind gusts near 30 throughout the afternoon. That's pumping in some much warmer temperatures, giving us high temperatures like this today. 53 here in Bangor, 50 in Millinocket. We'll take it. It is early in November, as you know, so above average temperatures for us today and tomorrow, probably Sunday, as there is just a lot of heat to go around, heat for November standards, of course. And this is all kind of sliding in this direction, so expect highs back up in the 50s again tomorrow and probably Sunday as well. But it's going to be windy again. You're going to feel it tomorrow and Sunday with waves on the lakes for sure, with wind gusts near 30 miles per hour throughout the afternoon, thus giving us our favorite, a small craft advisory out there running through the weekend with wave heights approaching 8 to 14 feet, especially during the afternoon. Okay, so out there today, some sun, some clouds, some sun, some clouds. Overall, a very nice day, albeit breezy, right? But it looks like there's a lot going on. There is is to the west of us. That, though, is all going to go to our north beginning tomorrow, and we are going to stay dry this weekend and probably into Monday morning, followed by some wet weather getting in here on Tuesday. But overall, an active pattern kind of setting up with this system here, then a break in the action, and that system there. So there are some rain events in the 5-day forecast right now. So for tonight, looking at clouding skies over this evening. Tomorrow morning, here we go, 7:30 or so. Lots of clouds across the area. No rain tomorrow or for Sunday. Then it clears out for us tomorrow night and throughout the day on Sunday as well, before we get some increasing clouds on Monday, and that will likely give us some rain showers late Monday or Sunday night into early parts of Monday, and those could actually linger into Tuesday morning as well. Our forecast though tonight though is lots of clouds out there, breezy with low temperatures down near 41, and a south wind that could still gust near 25. For tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, high temperatures back up in the mid-50s tomorrow. That's going to feel great with a southwest breeze around 5 to 10. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows tomorrow 56, Sunday 51. A couple of rain showers again can't be ruled out Sunday into Monday morning. Then we get a break before some more rain showers on Tuesday, and then cooler temperatures by Wednesday. We could have high temperatures back in the upper 40s.
So a great looking weekend on the way, Jeff. Thank you. And coming up, we'll have final thoughts on President Biden's remarks from his visit to Lewiston earlier today. Stay with us.
With harsh Maine winters and winding Maine roads, collisions can happen. But what can you do to make your vehicle look like new again? Just go to Maine Collision Center in Bangor. New owners Sean and Kim Sullivan and their exceptional technicians and team members provide a certified full-service repair facility for auto collision repairs, even fixes for scratches and dents. And Maine Collision Center works directly with insurance companies to promptly process your claim. If you're going to get it fixed right at Maine Collision Center.
Finding the right vehicle for you and your family can be a daunting task. At Varney Buick GMC, our expert staff is here to make the journey as painless as possible. Our goal is to get you and your family in a vehicle that will best fit into your lifestyle. Communication is key, and our team makes sure to be completely transparent throughout the process, informing you on all of your options. Come experience Varney value, only at Varney Buick GMC.
Question 3 is too costly and too risky.
It's a $13.5 billion gamble that puts politicians in charge.
It will increase our electric bills.
We can't afford higher electric bills. And the politicians, they're not even required to have an operations plan when they take over. No plan to keep the lights on?
Not even for emergencies or power outages.
That's a bad idea.
Mainers can't afford this costly proposal.
I'm voting no on 3. It's a risk we can't afford.
Shop at Label Shopper for the latest designer fashions, all at 30 to 70% less than department stores. With prices this low and styles for everyone, you can get more of the brands you love. Label Shopper. Great clothes, great prices.
Tonight, the Rafah border crossing into Egypt. Who is making it through? As the death toll rises in Gaza and the war intensifies, more Americans turn to the most watched newscast on television. World News Tonight with David Muir.
Welcome back, everyone. And before we leave you tonight, we want to send it back to our Beth Jones in Lewiston with a reflection on the president's visit today and his message for Mainers. Beth?
Well, Pete, all night long that we've been here, we've watched as cars have pulled over to the roadside memorial behind me. They've pulled over, they've gotten out. paid respects to the victims. Some people have added items to the memorial. We saw President Biden adding flowers this morning to the memorial with First Lady Jill Biden. And, you know, he remarked earlier today that on the way that the state and the community have come together and how it's inspired the rest of the country, calling it a marvel. But as Mainers, we know that that is just what Maine people do. We come together and we support each other in the face of adversity. There are still so many questions left to be answered, and the healing journey for so many is really only just beginning. But as the signs throughout that roadside tribute so plainly and so simply say, we are Lewiston strong. It's just been great to see people pulling over. There's a lot of flowers. There's, you know, signs with pictures of the victims, their victims' names all listed out, and not just those from Schmenge's Bar and Grill, but the victims at both sites of last week's mass shooting. And so again, the healing journey here only just beginning. So important to continue to pay respects and to offer tribute to the victims. But again, the multiple signs throughout that memorial saying we are Lewiston strong, and that is what we need to remember moving forward. Pete, back to you.
Thank you, Beth. We've heard it countless times, Lewiston strong, and the president just reinforcing that message with his visit today. All right, thank you, and that's going to do it for us tonight. For everyone at ABC 7, have a great rest of your night.